Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Imagine finding a United States state quarter dated in an old coin jar, a family collection, or even in ordinary pocket change. At first, it may look like a regular 25-cent piece. But then you notice the small mint marks, indicating that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. You examine the date, study the state design. Today we are fascinating coins history. Coin number 1. That is the question we are exploring in today's video. We will take a detailed look at the 2003 with P state quarter in very fine condition, including its history, the 50 state quarters program, the 5 state designs released in 2003, the importance of the P mint mark, condition and grading, possible errors and varieties, and the extraordinary $154,000 market value figure provided for this video. That distinction is extremely important because coin collecting is a hobby where a single detail can make a huge difference. A normal quarter can be worth 25 cents. A high-grade certified example can be worth considerably more. A major mint error can sometimes bring hundreds, thousands, or more, depending on the exact error, rarity, grade, and documented sales. But a 6-figure valuation requires extraordinary evidence. The year 2003 was an important year in the history of the United States Mint's famous 50 state quarters program. 5 different state designs were released that year: Illinois, Alabama, Maine, Missouri, and Arkansas. These coins were part of a massive national collecting program that introduced Americans to coin collecting on an unprecedented scale. The state quarters program became one of the most popular modern American coin programs. Millions of Americans began saving quarters from their pocket change, creating collections based on the order in which the states entered the Union. The program turned an ordinary denomination into an object of everyday collecting. The 2003 coins, therefore, have a fascinating place in modern American numismatic history. The first 2003 design honored Illinois, the 21st state admitted to the Union. The Illinois quarter features Abraham Lincoln, the outline of the state, farmland, the Chicago skyline, and other symbols associated with Illinois. The coin contains 21 stars, representing Illinois as the 21st state. The design combines the state's agricultural heritage with its famous urban landscape. The second 2003 design honored Alabama, the 22nd state admitted to the Union. The Alabama quarter features Helen Keller, one of the state's most famous historical figures, along with her name rendered in Braille. The design is particularly significant because it recognizes Keller's achievements and her connection to Alabama. The third 2003 design honored Maine, the 23rd state admitted to the Union. The reverse features the famous Pemaquid Point lighthouse and a sailing ship reflecting Maine's maritime heritage and rugged coastal landscape. The fourth 2003 design honored Missouri, the 24th state admitted to the Union. Its reverse shows Lewis and Clark returning to St. Louis with the Gateway Arch visible in the background. This design celebrates the historic expedition and Missouri's role in American westward exploration. The fifth and final 2003 design honored Arkansas, the 25th state admitted to the Union. The reverse features elements associated with Arkansas, including a lake, a mallard duck, rice stalks, and a diamond. These symbols represent important aspects of the state's natural resources and agricultural heritage. Therefore, when someone simply says 2003 state quarter, there is actually more information needed. You need to identify which state design is on the reverse. The state design can make a major difference when researching varieties, errors, mintage, and auction history. And then there is the P mint mark. The small p identifies the Philadelphia Mint. It is one of the first details collectors should check when examining a 2003 state quarter. A similar quarter with a D mint mark was struck at Denver, while proof state quarters from San Francisco carry the S mint mark. The location of the mint mark depends on the design, but it is part of the identification process. Once you know the state, year, and mint mark, you have a much clearer description of the coin. Now let's discuss the very fine condition specified in today's video. Very fine, commonly abbreviated VF, is a circulated grade. A very fine coin has experienced noticeable wear from circulation, but it still retains substantial design detail. On a state quarter, The major elements of Washington's portrait and the state reverse should remain recognizable, although the highest points will show wear. However, modern state quarters can sometimes be described incorrectly by sellers. Very fine is not simply another word for old-looking, dark, or good condition. Professional grading involves evaluating the actual amount of wear, surface preservation, contact marks, strike quality, and overall appearance. For a 2003 with P quarter, a genuinely very fine example is still a relatively modern circulated coin. It is not automatically rare simply because it is more than 20 years old. Next coin, number 2. This 2004 with D state quarter in very fine condition, including its history, the 50 state quarters program, the 5 state designs issued during 2004, the meaning of the D mint mark, condition and grading, possible errors and varieties, and the extraordinary $153,000 market value figure provided for today's video. The 2004 state quarter issues are nevertheless extremely interesting. The year 2004 was the 6th year of the United States Mint's famous 50 state quarters program, a program that transformed ordinary pocket change into one of the most popular collecting projects in American history. 5 states were honored in 2004. They were Michigan, Florida, Texas, Iowa, and Wisconsin. Each state received its own reverse design, while the obverse continued to feature the familiar portrait of George Washington. The Michigan quarter was the first state quarter released in 2004. Its reverse features the outline of Michigan and the Great Lakes, emphasizing the state's unique geography and its connection to the surrounding freshwater system. The Florida quarter followed and celebrated Florida's history and identity through imagery including the Spanish galleon, the space shuttle, and the state's natural landscape. The design connects Florida's early exploration history with its modern role in space exploration. The Texas quarter is one of the most recognizable designs of the year. It features the outline of Texas with the famous Lone Star, surrounded by design elements representing the state's identity and history. Texas became the 28th state admitted to the Union, and the quarter carries the inscription associated with the Lone Star State. The Iowa quarter features an image based on Grant Wood's famous painting Arbor Day, along with an agricultural theme. It represents Iowa's strong connection to farming and rural life. Finally, the Wisconsin quarter features a cow, cheese wheel, and ear of corn, along with the state motto Forward. This design would become especially famous among coin collectors because of an unusual variety involving an extra leaf on the corn stalk. That Wisconsin connection is extremely important when discussing 2004 with D state quarters. The 2004 with D Wisconsin extra leaf varieties are among the most famous modern U.S. coin varieties. 2 major versions are commonly known as the extra leaf high and extra leaf low varieties. The extra leaf appears on the corn stalk on the reverse of the Wisconsin quarter. Current references report that the Wisconsin extra leaf varieties can command significant premiums, with documented auction results reaching thousands of dollars. One widely reported 2004 with D Wisconsin extra leaf, low example, graded PCGS MS67, sold for $6,000 at heritage auctions in 2020. This is an important lesson because it shows exactly how a modern quarter can become collectible. The normal coin may be worth 25 cents. A recognized variety may be worth considerably more. A high-grade certified variety can be worth thousands. But that does not mean every 2004 with D quarter is automatically valuable. The coin must be identified correctly. The D mint mark is one of the first details to examine. It indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. On the state quarter series, the mint mark appears on the obverse near the lower right area of Washington's portrait, beneath the motto. This is why collectors should compare suspected varieties with authenticated examples. Now let's discuss the very fine condition mentioned in today's video. Very fine, usually abbreviated VF, describes a circulated coin with moderate wear but substantial remaining detail. A very fine state quarter will show signs of circulation on Washington's portrait and the state reverse, but the major design features should remain clear. However, state quarters are modern coins, and the term very fine should not be confused with an extraordinary grade. A circulated 2004 with ND quarter in very fine condition is generally not rare simply because it has some age. The coin is only a little more than 2 decades old, and enormous numbers were produced. For modern coins, the most significant premiums often occur in high mint state grades, or in examples with major errors and recognized varieties. Next coin, number 3. This 2018 with D state quarter in very fine condition, including its history, the America the Beautiful Quarters program, the different 2018 designs, the importance of the D mint mark, condition and grading, possible errors and varieties, what collectors should look for, and the $131,000 market value figure provided for this video. The 2018 quarters were part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which began in 2010 and continued through 2021. The program honored national parks, national forests, national monuments, historic locations, and other significant sites across the United States and its territories. The series was a continuation of the collecting excitement created by the earlier 50 state quarters program. In 2018, 5 different reverse designs were released. These designs honored Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore in Michigan, Apostle Islands National Lakeshore in Wisconsin, Voyageurs National Park in Minnesota, Cumberland Island National Seashore in Georgia, and Block Island National Wildlife Refuge in Rhode Island. Each design tells a different American story. The first 2018 design honors Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore in Michigan. The reverse depicts the dramatic shoreline and natural beauty associated with this location. The cliffs, water, and landscape make the design particularly attractive to collectors who appreciate scenic national park coinage. The second 2018 design honors Apostle Islands National Lakeshore in Wisconsin. This design features the distinctive landscape of the Apostle Islands and a lighthouse, representing the region's maritime character and natural beauty. The third design honors Voyageur National Park in Minnesota. The reverse depicts the park's wilderness environment and water-based landscape, capturing the spirit of exploration and outdoor adventure associated with the area. The fourth design honors Cumberland Island National Seashore in Georgia. The United States Mint's official announcement describes the reverse as featuring a snowy egret at the edge of a salt marsh. The fifth and final 2018 design honors Block Island National Wildlife Refuge in Rhode Island, featuring a great egret and the coastal environment of the refuge. This means that when someone says 2018 state quarter, there is actually more information needed. You should identify the exact reverse design before attempting to determine value. And this is where the D mint mark becomes important. The letter D indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. It is an important part of the coin's identification, but the mint mark alone does not make the coin rare. This is one of the biggest misconceptions among beginning collectors. A D mint mark does not automatically mean a quarter is worth thousands of dollars. Millions of 2018 D America the Beautiful Quarters were produced. For example, the reported Denver mintages include about 182.6 million Pictured Rocks quarters, 213.4 million Apostle Islands quarters, 197.8 million Voyageurs quarters, 151.6 million Cumberland Island quarters, and 159.6 million Block Island quarters. These numbers demonstrate that ordinary examples are not scarce simply because they carry a D, but that does not mean every 2018 with D quarter should be ignored. The interesting part is what might be hiding among those millions of coins. A genuine mint error can transform an ordinary-looking quarter into a collectible. A recognized variety can attract collectors. An exceptionally high grade can create condition rarity. And an unusual planchet or striking error can make a coin dramatically more interesting. This is why collectors examine modern quarters so carefully. Now let's talk about very fine condition. Very fine, commonly abbreviated VF, describes a circulated coin that has experienced noticeable wear but still retains substantial design detail. A very fine 2018 with D quarter should show circulation wear on the raised areas of the obverse and reverse, but the major design elements should remain clearly recognizable. The word very fine does not mean extremely valuable. Modern US. Quarters are clad coins. They consist of a copper core surrounded by outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. If one of those outer layers fails to bond properly during production, part or all of the clad layer can be missing. When this happens, the underlying copper core can become visible. The coin may appear noticeably reddish, orange, or copper-colored on the affected side. A genuine missing clad layer error is very different from ordinary staining. This distinction is critical. A quarter that becomes dark because of environmental exposure is not automatically a mint error. A quarter that turns brown because of chemicals is not automatically a missing clad layer coin. A quarter that has been intentionally altered is not equivalent to a genuine mint error. Collectors therefore examine the physical characteristics carefully. If you enjoyed this detailed look at the top 3 rare state quarter, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more rare US coins, valuable quarters, mint errors, unusual varieties, and coin collecting discoveries. Keep searching, keep learning, and remember, before believing a huge coin value claim, always verify the exact coin, the exact error, the grade, and the documented market evidence.